Hello, this is, I think it's episode 48, but it's been a few weeks and I didn't check. But I hope you're still there. I hope you're still listening. And I went back home, I had some nice time with my family, with my mum. I went traveling around the US with my husband. Big shout out to Cleveland, Ohio, which loved. It was very cold and very windy for one of the days, but we saw the Browns Steelers game and that was really fun, and the Browns won, so I think everybody was on a real high from that. And then went down to Atlanta, and then we ended up on a cruise ship, which basically rerouted entirely because of Hurricane Ian, but it was great anyway. And what hurricane is really all I can say there. So obviously all my sympathies and thoughts go out to people who were affected, but yeah, it was great. So now I'm back feeling refreshed and getting back to it. But at this point of the week, I'm mentally I'm there and I'm like excited and ready to go. But oh my God, I felt so lost at the beginning of this week. It was really hard. I felt very sort of out of place, and I'd lost my routine. So I didn't know what I was doing. I felt really despondent, I guess. And yeah, I just had to sort of keep reminding myself that yes, I can do it, yes, I can do it, yes, I can do it, and just doing sort of one thing at a time. But now I'm starting to get my mojo back, as they say, and I'm feeling good. So what has been going on? Well, the website's taking a little bit longer to build than I'd hoped and thought, primarily because of me being away and just not getting feedback back in time. But I'm around now to the end of the year, so that's really exciting. And also I think I just massively underestimate how much time and capacity that I have, because nothing is like brain surgery, but it just takes time. And because I don't feel like I've really been engaged in the community too much recently, so thank you so much to everyone who's like sticking with me on that. But so I wanted to make sure that I was adding value and sharing useful information for people there. And then it's New York Tech Week next week, and so I think I just saw they've got like over 150 different events, and so I've been signing up to go to some of those events. But like that process, and I know they're a startup, so I completely hear you. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job. It's a startup building an entire conference, which is phenomenal. But none of the event, it's lots of different platforms and nothing talks to each other, and so you don't know if you signed up or not, or what the situation is, and then you get a pending invite, and it's really hard. But I wanted to share that with everybody, so then everybody's going, oh my God, there are so many events, what would you recommend? And I'm like, well, here are some of my favorites, but it's really hard because I don't even know if I'm going, because I'm on like the you need to be confirmed wait list. So it's all very bitty, but it's great. And I think I'm just starting to get a few acceptances come through now. Just got one for a coffee morning with Jenny Fielding, formerly of Techstars. Prior to that, I think was WeWork Labs, and now runs her own fund called The Fund, funnily enough. So excited to meet her and to just hear more about what she's up to, and get some sort of advice from her. And then also just got one from Flybridge Ventures for their happy hour. So that's Monday night, I think. So that'll be good. And then just so many other things. And I was like umming and ahhing around whether I did an event for the group as well, but I just felt like there's so many events right now that it's just a bit overwhelming. So I'm going to leave it for this week, I think. And instead what I've done is I've started a little WhatsApp group for people to share their experiences and say when they're going to things, and that'll be hopefully help just keep people connected and engaged. And then I was trying to think about what have I actually been achieving, what have I been doing. And so I sent out a newsletter earlier, which was really good to just sort of get back into the swing of things. Here I am recording my podcast. I'm going to see somebody pitch for Latin X. Shout out to Leslie. She pitches her startup. I think it's called Cleverly, and forgive me for not having the name right to hand because I wasn't planning on talking about this. But basically, it's about, I think it's a great idea, allowing people to share childcare amongst people that they trust, and making that a little bit easier to manage. So she's going to be pitching. I'm going to go there, and funnily enough, it's at MasterCard, and I walked past MasterCard yesterday and thought, oh, that looks interesting, looks like a nice space, and now here I am going. So that'll be good. And then I was brave enough, I guess, to, and this is definitely one of my battles, to actually tell people that I've created a landing page. And so I reached out to a few people on Meetup, some of the members there, put it on LinkedIn, put it on a few different Slack groups, been getting some feedback. Interestingly, I wasn't actually asking for design feedback in the slightest. I wasn't asking for anything like that. I just wanted to get people's thoughts on the value prop, I guess, or to just even get people to sign up or not, really. I've had loads of people feedback on design, so I don't quite know what that means, whether that's just they're so used to giving design feedback that they think that's what I'm looking for, or they think that that's a massive blocker, and therefore think with a few tweaks or major overhauls, as the case may be, that might improve things. So I need to think about that one a little bit more, and because what I don't want to do is go down a massive design rabbit hole, and I might just move it over to Typeform, and Typeform is a bit pricey. It's $25 a month, and they keep mucking around with all of their pricing systems, and so that's quite annoying. But they do have lots of integrations. You can see, I think you can add Google Analytics and see then how many people are coming through, how many bounces, etc., etc. So that you can really get a sense of, what the conversion rate is. And then you can integrate it with Zapier, but again, I think that's a premium feature that Zapier offer. But I think then, you could automatically send out a thank you for submitting the form and signing up or whatever. And I think that would just make it a bit more seamless. So that's, again, I think another $25, $30 a month. So I'm trying to be really careful about what I'm spending. I need to bring back down my Webflow because I'm definitely on a premium account that I don't need there. So I save that a little bit and just look at some of the other costs that are going out, because they're just getting high for no real reason. So I need to try and get a bit of a grip on that. But I have to say, I'm feeling positive now, which is damn sight better than where I was earlier this week when I was in floods of tears. So thank you for John for all of your love and support earlier this week when I really was not in a great place. But I'm feeling much better now and things are moving. And I think one of the reasons why I'm feeling better is just because there is this progress, and actually doing nothing is more painful than doing something. And when you start doing something, you get that momentum going again. And so I think it's just, natural of that I was so out of structure. I just lost my structure, and living out the suitcase, it's a nice problem to have in some ways, but it gets a bit tiring. So it's really nice to be home. But what else am I doing? As she says, looking at her notes. I think one thing also that helped get me out of that little rut was just surrounding myself with other people who did have energy. So even though if I wasn't necessarily feeling it, I could get it from others. And so if you are feeling that and you're like, I don't know what to do, frankly, that's why I'm doing the knowledge shop, isn't it? I'm building it because I need it. Unfortunately, if I had it, if it already existed, then swings and roundabouts. I wouldn't need to build it, so I wouldn't have my business idea, but I would have been able to build what I was building a lot quicker. So it's a bit of a catch-22. I think based on where I am right now, it feels like the right thing to do. So we'll just keep going with that one. And I'm also really excited to keep things going with my virtual assistant. And I'm talking, and I don't actually know if this is recording right now because the video on Riverside has just frozen. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm very much a bottleneck right now, and I need to offload some of this work. And so I've asked Zirtual, which I get through my startups.com membership, if they can do some VA work for me, because then that's just included, that's not an extra cost. And then I had a couple of recommendations from Skippy and Lakshmi about a company called iWorker, I think it was, and they're can match you with virtual assistants to do all sorts of different work, not just admin. Like they can do video editing and image editing and newsletter compilation, things like that. And that's what I could do with some help with too, because at the moment, like I'd love to do so much more with the newsletter, and I'd really like to do much more community engagement, and I just don't have the time or the bandwidth to do it. And so I think if I work with somebody else, then that will help, and I hope then allow me to do more things. And then two big, I guess, positive things to end on. Firstly, I woke up to loads of likes and random notifications on LinkedIn, and I hadn't realised, but like this case study, I guess, that Bayes did when I just finished my MBA, so City University of London. They did a write-up just about my sort of transition from corporate to startup life, and that got published, and so I was getting lots of likes, and that was really nice. And actually had a really great conversation with Marek from Durham University today, where I did my undergrad, because they're doing lots of things in the entrepreneurial space as well. And so I was just sort of sharing some thoughts and ideas about that. And so that made me feel good too. But then the final one, and I literally just noticed this as I was coming in to record, is I got accepted onto a fellowship program that Luminary and Silicon Valley Bank are doing. And so it's a digital program, but it gives you access into their clubhouse, I think, once a week, and they've got one in New York. I don't really know too much about it, but the kickoff is October the 24th, and I've got to think that that will give me some good access to resources and just again extending the network. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know how competitive it was. I filled in a form. They asked for quite a lot of information. We'll see. But yeah, so that's me. So I started the week on a real low. I'm now on a high. I got a little bit of outside validation, which is always nice. And yeah, we'll see where things go. But hopefully now I'm back and I can keep moving forward in the website and finding my team members. And I will post in the show notes where you can sign up for my Typeform. Yeah, if you have any questions, you know I am. Here we are. Business is returning to normal. See you soon, guys.